In Tennessee, Governor Bill Haslam has signed a law Thursday making it legal for Tennessee to execute death row prisoners, and Tennessee is salivating in its desire to start executing people, has passed a law suggesting that they can now execute people with the electric chair. Hallelujah. This, of course, in response to the word and the news that you can no longer get the drugs needed for lethal injection from Europe because European countries don't want any part of it. So the European companies that make those drugs either stopped sending them to the United States because they thought it was unethical, or decided to send them secretly, but laws have been passed now in the Supreme Court. We can't not know what you're being executed with. That generally, although that's still a little up in the air, prisoners have a right to know. So now Tennessee has this law making it legal to execute people with the electric chair. Just for the record, you always had that choice in Tennessee, but now the law has made it clear that if you can't be executed with lethal injection, you will be executed with the electric chair. This comes after Clayton Lockett had his execution in Oklahoma horribly butchered. He writhed on the ground, he sighed, he said something's wrong, and eventually, nearly an hour later, 45 minutes later, he died of a heart attack. Charles Warner, who was due to be executed in Oklahoma that same day last month, had his execution stayed. This week, Judge Sam Alito, you know the executions in this country have gone horribly wrong, and there is something grossly wrong with the way we were lethally, quietly, and with our hands totally clean executing people in this country. You know that's gone wrong when Sam Alito blocks an execution, which is what he did this week, stopping the execution of Russell Bucklew in Missouri. And the guys, by the way, Russell Bucklew and Billy Ray Irick, who is the next guy set to be executed in Tennessee, he's already had his execution pushed back. He was already supposed to be dead in January. He raped and killed a 7-year-old, and there's no question that he did it. He's the guy that did that in 1985. He was convicted in 1986. He spent nearly 3 decades on death row in Tennessee. There's no doubt that he is the perpetrator of that crime. And Russell Bucklew, also, there seems to be little doubt in any way that he killed the man who he's accused of killing in Missouri. But he was due to be the next person to be executed in this country, and he got to stay. We talked about this in the morning meeting. The electric chair seems to be a peculiar solution to a problem of executions going wrong, when we know full well that in the late 90s in Florida, old Sparky, as it was called, I don't think there should be a cute, fun nickname for the method of executing people in the United States, but old Sparky, you know who he is. Do you remember that time that old Sparky lit the guy's head on fire and he was burning to death before our eyes? Okay. Old Sparky, oh, man, that guy. So anyway, that seems crazy. What seems so clear to me is that if you want to make sure you execute people in this country, you shoot them. Guns kill people. The NRA should be totally behind that. And if you want to make sure they're dead, because of course somebody could get shot 10 times and survive, I suppose you get 25 guys with high-powered guns and they just shoot the shit out of somebody. He'll die, and he'll die quickly. If they all aim for headshots, he'll die right away. It'll be disgusting, and there'll be blood and brain matter and bone fragments everywhere, but we're trying to kill him. So let's kill him. Do it right. Make sure you kill him. Make sure you kill them humanely. I would say that's humane. There won't be any suffering from the moment after the first bullet is fired. But we're not going to do that because we don't want to face the ugly truth of what we're doing, which is executing people, the state, the United States of America. I've said this before. I grew up in a country where I thought when somebody's about to be killed, the United States, they're the guys who kick down the door and save you at the last second. That's what we do in this country. We come to people's rescue. We don't execute people. I'm not soft on crime. Fuck, man, you kill you rape and kill a 7-year-old girl, and this guy has some mental problems, obviously, but he may have some obvious serious mental problems. You don't treat that guy and let him go. That guy's in prison for the rest of his life. That guy gets a sentence of 2,000 years so that he can be eligible for parole in 479 years. Like, you don't get out. You don't get out when you're 80. You don't get out when you're 90. But we don't execute them. That's just not what we do in the United States. And we need to wake up, because we're not Saudi Arabia, we're not Iran, and we're not China, and we shouldn't be executing people in this country. But if we do, let's have 30 guys with AK-47s. Sorry, M16s. For a second, I thought we were in Russia. Let's have 30 guys with M16s shoot him in the fucking head.